I was even smaller then, so I started out wearing the stripes. And the idea was I could get away with officiating on shows and wrestling if I started out by wearing a mask. So initially I had a character where, I could wear the mask, and for some reason this song inspired me to go that route. And then once I got down, I started working for one of the earliest promoters I worked for was down in Louisville, Kentucky, a fellow by the name of Ian Rotten. And when I started working down there, he wasn't too hip on the whole piranha persona, so we sort of changed it to the Shark, and that's kind of how the whole Shark Boy thing got started. And at first I would wrestle as Shark Boy down in the Kentucky area and El Piranha up here, but then the crowd pops and the responses were so much greater for the Shark Boy that I just abandoned El Piranha completely, and now I'm pretty much saddled with Shark Boy, I think, for the rest of my life. I always kind of thought, I'll probably do this character for a while and then go on to something else, but it's just taken off, and I get, it's gotten so much attention, like really no other indie wrestler in this country, I mean, that even if I wanted to shift gears, it'd be really difficult to do that at this point. So, but I love it. It's great. The kids really like it, and it seems to be pretty popular with people. So,
well, last year Marty and I did an appearance with Mick Foley and Al Snow in Piqua, and Les Thatcher showed up with Shark Boy T-shirts, and he absolutely marked out. They're fans of yours.
Yeah, and if you go on my website, thank you. You led me into a plug.
Way to work that segue in there, Dean.
Yes. www.sharkboy.net. You can see a really cool picture of Mick and Al Snow and D'Lo Brown holding me up on their shoulders. I got the Pillman Cruiserweight trophy in my hands. It's from Pillman '99, and those three guys have really done a lot. They've worn my shirts out. People have seen them wearing my shirts and asked about me, and they're just really terrific guys, and I thank the three of them and everyone else who's shown me support, in the big companies.
And I know you also wrestled a few months back in the Super 8 tournament. That was a big deal.
Definitely. The Super 8, actually, I hadn't even heard of it until this year, but they'd done it for 3 years. It was a tournament that guys like Kidman competed in before he got to WCW, the Hardy Boys before they went to WWF.
Edge and Christian, I think, came out of that, too.
Yeah, and, it was, the idea is they based it after the tournament over in Japan, which is that the Super J, I think they call it?
Super J, yes.
And this was supposed to be the American version of that. And the idea is to go around and find the best 8 light heavyweights, cruiserweights, whatever you want to call them, in the country. And luckily, I was considered one of the best 8 this year, so I got to go out there and wrestle Chad Collier out in Delaware. And it was a really terrific experience. I made a lot of friends. Kevin Kelly was there from the WWF. He's closely associated with the ECWA, which is the company that puts on the show. And Kevin Kelly and Jim Kettner, all those guys, they were all terrific, man. And it was really a lot of fun.
So do you have a plan or a timetable of where you want to be in like 5 years, or do you just kind of say roll with the punches?
If you'd asked me that when I was still down in Atlanta, I probably would have said, hey, right here in Atlanta, rich and famous. But, who knows how far the whole thing is going to go. I mean, right now I'm pretty content just to kind of ride the whole Shark Boy wave and see where it takes me. And, this August I'm going to be on as part of Discovery Channel Shark Week. They came to the Pillman show this year and got a bunch of footage of me. And so I'm going to be one of the little people they feature as people associated with sharks, which will be kind of cool. And you never know with stuff like that. You never know what's going to come out of that. Some commercial or something like that. Some TV producer say, hey, that guy would be really cool as a guest spot, or they're all things that happen. And I'm hoping I link enough of those things together and I can make a success of this thing again.
Well, Shark, if anybody can do it, you can. You do a great job down there. You're assisting younger wrestlers, trying to help them. You do a great job of the shark masks in the stands wherever you go.
Right.
It's great. Everybody gets off on it. It's a fun deal, and a lot of people don't know. You're a college graduate. You're a very educated guy, and you bring a lot to the world of professional wrestling, buddy.
Thank you so much, Marty. Do I owe you money?
Hey, just take care of me. Give me one of them shark masks, extra large.
Hey, I can say, please give Marty one of those shark masks so I don't have to look at what I'm having to now.
There you go.
Hey, guys are doing well.
We'll see you Saturday in Middletown, and then are you going to be at Pulsation Sunday?
That's a pretty good chance.
Depends on the baby.
I'm sorry?
Depends on the baby.
Depends on the whole, it depends on the baby. Actually, I'm kind of wanting to go down to Kentucky for the show down there, Jim Cornette and Danny Davis's group. on Friday, but I don't. There again, it all depends on the whole baby situation. So I'm hesitant to make any plans other than I'm definitely going to be in Middletown, provided she doesn't go into labor right that minute.
Well, I'm sure the old man told you we're heading down to Louisville, right?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Yeah, I'd really like to be a part of that whole deal too, but you know, it all depends. We're just going to have to see when the stork comes.
Well, best of luck to you. Best of luck to Sandra, and we'll see you Saturday in Middletown, hopefully.
Okay, thanks a bunch, guys.
All right, Shark, take it easy, man.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And one more time, if you want to get up to date on Shark Boy, www.sharkboy.net, the website. You can get the mask, the T-shirt, and just find out what's going on with Shark Boy.
You got it. I think we got to get to a break.
Yes, we
ran
do.
a little bit over. When we come back, we're going to take some callers. You can give us a call at
457-1065. This is the Wrestling Guys exclusively on Buckeye Country 106.5 FM.
W. Kept to you by Dyer, Garofalo, Mann, and Schultz, the accident attorneys. Jobber is looking a little stunned tonight.
Jobber's a little tan.
I don't know. Have
Frustrated.
you been in the sun a little too much? What's going on, Jobs?
Just a little bit in the sun today.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
You fighting a fire, or? So, hey, if you need help, call the accident attorneys, Dyer, Garofalo, Mann, and Schultz at 1-800-INJURED.
Help me.
Thank you very much, Shark Boy, for joining us just a little while ago. And again, he is going to be on the card this Saturday at the National Guard Armory in Middletown. And big feud between him and Chip Fairway. Now they're doing it in a tag team style. AAA is feuding with help me here, Matt Stryker. So they're going to make it a tag team match this Saturday in
Best
Middletown.
2 out of 3.
Exactly. So it ought to be a good time down in Middletown. Marty and I plan to be there, and it should be fun.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. And we're going to talk a little more later in the show, but the July 15th Wrestling Guys Independent Showcase is really starting to gain steam.
Absolutely. OCW, UCW, VCW, all on the show along with the HWA. And we're going to have a great time out at the Gateway Sports Park. By the way, if you are have access to the Internet, Gateway Sports Park does have a website, www.gatewaysportspark.com, if you want to take a look at it. And better yet, drive out there. It's just off of Route 4 on Stanley Avenue, real close to I-75, just about 3 miles. And 224-PLAY, the phone number. They are open for business. They had their big grand opening this past Saturday. And whether you want to golf, if you want to play basketball, soccer, it's all out there at Gateway.
Board games, a nice pro shop in there.
Video games, not board games.
Well, there were board games, too.
I didn't see any board games.
Really?
No.
What's that? It's not video when you play air hockey.
I don't know if I'd call it a board game.
Well,
board games like Monopoly and Clue. And
Oh, excuse me.
I'm the game master. Remember?
Yes, you
were
are the
supposed to
game
know
master.
that.
I pay homage to the game master.
Yes, I'm Kevin Sullivan now. Thank you very much.
Hey, let's get back to the phone lines again. They've been on there quite a while waiting. Line 7 from Dayton. Bobby, you've got the Wrestling Guys.
Yes, I was wondering. I call your hotline just about every day.
Yeah.
I heard that she said Linda McMahon is supposed to be bringing Mick Foley in as the commissioner.
That is the plan for when Mick Foley comes back, although it is not clear when Mick will come back.
Okay, and also is Ric Flair officially retired now?
No.
No, Rick, actually, his shoulder surgery was today or yesterday?
I thought it was tomorrow, but maybe...
No, I think he had it.
Did he? Ric Flair is having a shoulder operation. He's expected to miss about 3 months, and then at that time, they'll really evaluate. If there's any way Ric Flair will come back, he will.
Okay, and also I got a prediction for the King of the Ring.
Let's hear it.
Crash Holly.
Crash Holly.
Where do you come up with that at?
Huh?
You're taking the dark horse there, going for the underdog.
Yeah.
Well, you know, and nobody thought that Mabel was going to win King of the Ring when he did it 4 or 5 years ago. Maybe.
And you're one of the few people in the United States that remembers that.
Defeated Savio Vega, yes. Anyway, I think it was in Philadelphia, too. But anyway.
Don't start, Bobby. Crash Holly, you're probably going to be the only person in the United States that votes for him.
But you know what? Vince likes to surprise people, and
you never
maybe
know.
he'll do that this Sunday. Who knows?
All right, thanks.
All right, thanks a lot.
Hey, man, thanks for calling.
You know, I think if anybody is going to pull off the upset in King of the Ring, I think the one guy that would do it, and they may want to start pushing, is Val Venus. I think they're looking to make him...
He's due for a push again.
I think they're trying to make him now more aggressive, and you see him going after Rikishi. And I think that if anybody is going to pull off the upset...
faces, that's all.
that's the one guy I think would do it at King of the Ring this Sunday is Val Venus.
He could put a Canadian stink face on him.
What's a Canadian stink face? Same thing as the Rikishi?
Yeah, but when you're Canadian, you got to be Canadian to do it.
Canadian stink face.
So it's a Canadian stink face.
457. Yeah, what is your deal tonight with stink faces?
Well, you're the one that started it.
I said no, we have the
You
tape.
started.
We can play
Don't
it
even.
back.
Oh, we have the tape. We can play it back.
All night long, you've been bringing up stinky faces.
No, you started it. You were talking about it this afternoon. You talked about it last night. Now it's embedded. I can't.
When did I bring it up to
You're
that?
always bringing it up. I think you have a. What? I'm not going to start.
No, I do not have a stinky face fetish or whatever you're talking about.
Even.
457-1065. Save this show. Let's go
Let's
to
go
line.
to the phone lines. Line 8 from Huber Heights. Zach, you've got the stinky face wrestling guys.
Hey, what's up?
How you doing, Zach?
Pretty good. I got 3 questions here.
It's 3-question night, I guess. Jeez. Anyway, go ahead.
If you call from Huber Heights, you get 3.
Since Lance Storm is in WCW now, is Dawn Marie supposed to come?
No, she is still under contract with ECW for at least a year.
Okay, and
2.
do you know Scott Hall's return date?
It's probably going to be around the pay-per-view. They're starting to write him into the angles. Goldberg has said that's first on his hit list, so I would think that with them mentioning Scott Hall this much, you're going to see him rather soon.
And Billy would like to have him on his hit list.
Yeah, true.
All right, and do you think there'll ever be a wolf pack again?
Good question. I don't know if they'll do a wolf pack. It could be something they bring back every few years, kind of like they do with the Four Horsemen.
Yeah.
And bring back the NWO, bring back the wolf pack. We'll just have to wait and see. I wouldn't be surprised if somewhere down the line, if they get desperate and need a new gimmick or whatever, they go back to the wolf pack. It worked for them once before.
You can hear that wolf howl. Ooh.
Yeah.
Hey, Zach, is Troy one of your buddies?
He's my cousin.
I knew
that's
it,
what we
man.
thought. Okay.
Yeah, Jobber thought you were. He was just... Jobber's very astute at picking up those things.
Yep.
All right. Thanks a lot for the phone call.
All right.
All right. Huber Heights representing
Heights.
tonight.
Yes, they are. Zach and Troy, the cousins, both of them with 3 questions. We didn't ask Zach if anybody helped him or not. What do you think?
Possibly. Who knows?
Possibly. Back to line 1, though, from Inglewood. Shawn, you've got the wrestling guys.
Hi.
Hi.
I got a question. I got my prediction here first. I think
Okay.
Kurt Angle's going to win the King of the Ring.
You think Kurt Angle's going to pull it off this
Yep.
Sunday?
It's true. It's true.
It's true.
Okay, that's 2 for Kurt Angle.
Also, is with the Lance Storm deal, is he going to, like, have a feud with Chris Candido again like he did with ECW? Or is he gonna go with something
Probably not.
Now, let's just say that could happen, but it won't be happening right away.
Lance Storm looks like he's going to be getting involved when, we saw him interfere Monday night in that 6-man against the Young Dragons and 3 count. He interferes. I'll give away something that's going to happen in about 45 minutes.
Don't you even
He's
do
going to
it.
interfere again.
I can't believe it. Will you stop?
It's not that big a deal. It's
Let
not a
people-
title change
Doesn't
like on
make any
SmackDown.
difference. Oh, my God.
What else you got, Shawn?
Can you blow him up?
are they going to have ECW ever come back to Hera again, like over the Dayton area or around Ohio?
I'm sure they're going to be back. It's
Ohio,
just really
yeah.
nothing that's been planned here. I think that they feel they've run their course, so to speak, in the Dayton area, which I don't believe. I think they did a terrible job of promotion, and I don't care what the product is, you have to promote it properly.
Okay, thanks.
Take care,
All right,
Shawn.
well, thanks for calling in, Shawn.
All right, 457-1065 if you want to take Shawn from Inglewood's place here on the Wrestling Guys.
And back to line 2, they're firing away. Keymaster from Middletown. You've got the wrestling guys.
Hi, I was wondering if Shawn Michaels is going to be involved in anything in the future for WWF.
Shawn Michaels right now still down in his Texas promotion. He is on a as-needed basis, but right now there's nothing planned for him full-time in the company.
All right, and I have a King of the Ring prediction.
Let's hear it.
It's going to be Chris Jericho, and then he's going to beat Triple H for the WWF title.
Good prediction coming from the Keymaster. You going to be at the show this Saturday?
Oh, no, I can't make it.
Okay.
Keymaster.
All right, Keymaster
Chris
saying
Jericho.
Y2J will be King of the Ring. We'll put it in, see
We
what
got it,
happens.
man.
All right, thanks.
Hey, thanks for calling in.
Take care down there.
Keymaster.
So let's see, we've got a couple votes for Kurt Angle. We've got one for Crash Holly, one for Chris Jericho.
I missed the first one.
We had
one
prediction?
vote early on, yes.
Was that Benoit?
Chris Benoit, that's
Yes.
correct. Okay, it's a tight race so far, but let's get back to the phone lines. Line 3 from North Dayton, Don Kirby. You've got the wrestling guys.
Yeah, I was just wanting to inform you that Shawn Wool, he wrestles on the NWA Wild Side too.
Oh, okay, great.
And also, if you know, on 51 from 9 to 11 o'clock, on 51 they have that Memphis Championship Wrestling.
Yep.
And then they got the Wild Side on NWA.
How did Shawn Royal look? I haven't seen him, like 10 years.
He looked kind of older. He had like a goatee. And stuff. And then he gave Chris Champion a beer, and now they're a tag team.
Are they calling themselves a new breed again?
No.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, okay. And the courtesy clerk here sitting here.
Cliff, the courtesy
Cliff,
Kirk.
the courtesy Kirk.
He's a Kirk.
Hey, what's up?
How you doing, Cliff?
Okay.
How's life at Kroger?
Oh, life at Kroger is great. We're in our summer specials.
Are you doing double coupons yet, or what?
Yeah, we do double coupons all the time.
Any power outages this week?
No, not this week.
Cliff, we saw you at the UCW show this past Friday. Did you have a good time?
Yes, I did, but I do have one little concern.
Uh-oh, what's that?
Well, after you guys left, there was a person there that decided to throw a chair.
We heard about
that.
And I don't think that's too cool.
No, certainly not, but unfortunately those things do tend to happen from time to time.
And what happened after that, Cliff?
Well, the guy who was doing the announcing kind of got on to folks saying, don't be throwing things, because if you throw things, we're going to escort you out of the building.
So, Cliff, you didn't, go over to the guy and try and take him out or anything?
Oh, no, he's too big.
He was a big one.
Got another question. Try to look up the Wrestling Guys website. And what system are you on? Because I went to the library to look at the website, and it wasn't on Ala Vista. It's not on Yahoo. And tried even the AOL system, but...
Well, if you do a search, we're not really in the search engines yet. You got to type it in directly. Go to thewrestlingguys.com.
Oh, thewrestlingguys.com.
Go to thewrestlingguys.com, and you'll go right to our website.
Oh,
and you better wait a few more days, Cliff, and you'll be able to see a masterful pose of Cliff, the courtesy clerk from Kroger's.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, Cliff, we got to get to a break, but take care.
Okay, talk with you later.
All right, buddy.
bye-bye.
Thanks for calling.
I love Cliff.
Hey, Cliff's the greatest. Didn't like that chair throwing at UCW the other night.
And we heard about that a little bit later, and those things can't happen. I realized, and I talked to the person who actually did it, and it was a kind of a gimmick or plan that he has with Raj or some of the guys in UCW, but he just didn't get the chair.
He better sit a little closer. See, that's what
he needs to sit a little closer to the ring.
He was sitting back there with the wrestling guys being inconspicuous. And
he tried to throw the chair into the ring, and it missed. And fortunately, it did not hit anybody, but people got a little bit upset. And, they got to be careful on those kind of things.
Yes, you do.
And the bad thing, too, if one guy from the crowd, whether or not it's a, plant or not, if they throw something in the ring or you do something where a fan attacks a wrestler, even if it's a plant, then other fans not in on the gimmick think something legitimate's going on, and they get involved, and then you have a riot situation.
Yeah, they don't know.
Good.
They just get caught up in the emotion of the moment. So thinking that he's involved or not involved just adds to the excitement, and then all of a sudden you have a situation out of hand.
Exactly, and we've seen, as impressive it is, it's very dangerous. We saw the old ECW highlights where all the chairs are coming in the ring, and Al Snow and the 2,000 heads that got thrown in the ring that night at the ECW arena. But you got to be very careful if you're going to get the fans involved in that capacity.
You got it. Let's get back to the phone lines again. Line 4 from West Carrollton. Tony, you've got the Wrestling Guys.
Hey.
Hey.
How's it going, Tony?
All right. How's it? Hey, I had a couple questions.
Hit it.
What was the deal a couple years back with the Road Warriors? There was 3 of them.
They put Droz in there as a third Road Warrior and kind of tried to use an angle where he was dividing Hawk and Animal.
Okay, that was Droz. Okay. Whatever happened with Bill Dundee?
Superstar still, Bill Dundee still down in the Tennessee area doing some stuff with Jerry Lawler. Believe it or not, they're still together.
Pop up all the time.
All right, thank you.
All right, take care,
thanks
Tony.
for calling in.
All right, bye-bye.
The Road Warriors, a friend of mine running a federation up in Toledo, he's got Hawk coming in for one of his shows in July.
Just Hawk?
Just Hawk. I didn't understand why he didn't bring them both, but
less money.
I think that's probably the legitimate reason. And I think Al Snow's going to do the show. I think it's going to be a pretty good show they have up there.
Sounds entertaining. And the Road Warriors, I guess, they offered their services to ECW for the Chicago House show, and Paul said, unless you're got a job, I have no need for you.
Come in and roll over? Come on out, boys. But other than that, you know what they're missing?
Who?
Their manager.
Oh, Paul Ellering.
No, Tammy.
Oh, you mean LOD 2000? That Tammy's missing a lot nowadays. But anyway,
she is, and the family could be missing even more coming up.
Let's talk about Tammy just a minute. Apparently, according to Tammy, she passed her drug test, and that she would be starting back with WCW sometime. And this, despite WCW.com pulling her bio off of their website, and really don't know what the situation with her right now. Not too clear about with Chris Candido, and we'll keep you up to date as much as we can.
Oh, let's face it, when you walk up there, you've got a fractured arm, you've got a cast on it, you haven't notified anybody, and you walk in to do a televised taping.
And the worst thing is they put him in the ring and actually had him wrestle, and it looked stupid.
They had him there, and there was a reformation, a triple threat, which should have been big, which was big. Even they jobbed out, but I mean, still, I really like the triple threat gimmick. So I think that they wanted to still do the gimmick, but I don't know where it stands. This should be very interesting to keep an eye on over the next few days.
You know, it's another example of those two getting an opportunity and then blowing it, literally.
As usual.
457-1065 if you got an opinion tonight. Still taking your predictions for King of the Ring. And again, want to remind you, this Sunday, Pulsation's Nightclub, the place to watch King of the Ring live on pay-per-view. Free food, T-shirt contest afterwards. Going to be a good time. And if you got questions, call 291-0912. Got so many phone numbers. 9212. You know, I say that number every day. I should have it like tattooed in my brain.
You see what I got, don't you?
Yeah, well.
The cheat sheet.
Yeah, well, you need a cheat sheet.
Well, obviously you do, too.
Yes. Yeah, a lot of things. A cheat sheet would help.
Yes, let's get back to the phone lines again. Line 7 fired away. Woodchuck, you've got the wrestling guys.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Woodchuck.
How's it going?
Not bad. A few things here. First off, Mick Foley. He looks goofy with a shaved head.
Doesn't he, though?
Did you see the picture?
Yeah.
The picture's out there on the internet. If you do search of some different wrestling websites, you're bound to come across it. But he's not a pretty bald man.
Oh, no. And did the Sandman ever get in trouble for being drunk in the ring?
Yes, he did. Sandman was fined, and he was suspended from the shows. I think it was 2 weeks ago. He was suspended from the shows over the weekend. And as far as I know, he did actually apologize to the building in Florida as well. I don't know if it's going to help them get back in there. But
it shouldn't, but it may.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
That company that's protesting the WWF?
Yeah.
I think they're Motley Crue fans.
You think the PTC's Motley Crue fans?
Yeah, that's right. They're evil.
Oh, jeez.
So to me, I'm a Tiger fan, so.
Oh, okay.
So you're going to send them a letter telling them that they should change that, aren't you?
I tell you what, Flamethrower Rob Dalton really got the ball rolling as far as contacting the PTC with an email. And, again, we're going to try and get this out on the Internet. And people, for a free television, he is demanding, like we said earlier, that the PTC return any money that it's received from Toys R Us from sales of WWF, WCW, and ECW merchandise through its website.
Am I seeing my prediction on King of the Ring?
Prediction for King of the Ring. Hit it, Woodchuck. What you got?
Kurt Angle will be attacked by a mysterious woman, and she'll win the King of the Ring, and it'll turn out to be Shirley Manson.
The woman will win King of the Ring, and it'll be Shirley Manson.
Yeah.
I think that's a long shot. But we put it down.
We're putting it down, though. We put down Crash Holly.
Well, Crash Holly's got a better chance than Shirley Manson of garbage.
You gotta love it.
Although Shirley Manson would be a good King of the Ring. I wouldn't mind seeing her in there. Yeah, hey, Woodchuck, we got to get to a break.
A little.
All right, 457-1065. When we come back, more of your phone calls. This is the Wrestling Guys.
On WBKI Buckeye Country. Not listening to the Wrestling Guys, you've got the wrong station tonight. We're brought to you by Dyer, Garofalo, Mann, and Schultz, the accident attorneys. You can put a Tiger on your team 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Give them a call for a free initial consultation at 1-800-INJURED.
You know, the sloppy Joe that's always in here screaming, "It's true!" It's true! He's doing some pinch hit duty down the hallway at Mix 1077, and he had to, he came in here with a little note and just wrote, "It's true" on it. And so,
said he had to get one in.
He had to get one in tonight, and if you want to, you can call over there at Mix after we're off the air, and you can Tell Joe it's true.
Yeah, and let him know that you
What's that phone number over there, Joby? 457-MIX or something like that?
457
1077 or MIX 457-1077?
Yeah.
You want to call 457-1077 when Joe answers, just scream it's true and hang up.
Yeah, that's a good. I like that.
I'll
Just
get
do it.
on that right now.
and really, just say it's true and hang up. And
Get him
we'll
going?
do that. Well, yeah, that'll make his night.
He'll love that. He'll be marking out for the rest of the evening.
457-1065 if you want to hop on the Wrestling Guys tonight. And let's go back to the phones.
Hey, let's get it. Line 8 lit up with Billy and Dollar Man from Middletown. You've got the Wrestling Guys.
Yes. I would like to clear something up about the Bink.
The Bink?
Yes.
Okay.
He's making this whole foundation of his, he's getting carried away with it.
So you think he's out of his mind, or?
Sort of.
Okay.
Now, Billy, what's your persona? You're not the $1 billion guy or something, are you?
Cash money or whatever?
Cash money or?
Well, I am quite wealthy.
Okay, good.
Billy, what's your question tonight?
My question is, where is Ted DiBiase?
Ted DiBiase,
just talked about him.
Yeah, he was on, you see him a lot of times on Trinity Broadcasting Network, the religious channel. He wrote a book a couple years ago. He was behind the WXO. That failed miserably. And there were some rumors about him going back to the WWF. I don't see that happening. He's been involved in WCW, making personal appearances, particularly with the WCW Motorsports Group. I don't know how much he really wants to get involved in wrestling right now. He actually, Nikita Koloff, a couple weeks ago when we had him on, talking with Nikita. Nikita, of course, very big now into the ministry with Koloff Ministries, and he does some stuff with DiBiase on some public speaking matters.
Okay. And my prediction for King of the Ring.
Hit it.
Go for it.
It will be Chris Jericho.
Chris Jericho. Another vote for Jericho tonight.
So it's getting tight here.
I am sitting next to Keymaster, who called in earlier also about Chris Jericho.
All right, well, we got you down.
Okay. All right, what about now? Are you Dollar Man, or is Dollar Man there too?
Who's Dollar Man?
I don't know.
You said Dollar Man.
I said I'm the $1 billion man.
$1 billion man. Okay,
Billy?
sorry.
Hey, I love this.
Billy the $1 billion man.
Billy the $1 billion man.
Okay, gotcha.
That's
all
great.
right, take care down there in Middletown.
And take care of Big, will you?
Somebody needs to.
All right, go ahead. Yeah, you can do that, sure. You the one that does it? Jobber, go ahead. What's
Hold
up?
on, what is this?
I don't know.
Okay. I've got Joe on the line from Mix 1077.
Hey, Joe, have you gotten any calls yet?
Hey, Joe, we told the listeners to go ahead and give you a call and just scream it's true, so let us know how many do that, okay?
That's why my phones have been ringing off the hook with people screaming it's true.
457-1077. Give them a call right now and scream out, it's true!
Have fun, Joe.
All right, buddy.
Jeez.
Hey, that's called interpromotional things we do.
Exactly.
Hey, speaking of interpromotional, the morning show. Have you been listening lately?
It's been good.
It has been. Lee and Karen every morning. Don't change your station. Keep it on Buckeye Country, BKI 106.5, and you'll have a lot of fun in the morning. A lot going on with those two, and a lot of giveaways. I mean, they've been really doing it up.
You know, they do really a lot with NASCAR. If you go to the website, Buckeye1065.com, you'll find information about what they're going to be giving away. NASCAR, you can vote for your favorite driver, and so a lot there. So not only check out the morning show here on Buckeye Country 106.5 with Lee and Karen, also check out their website, Buckeye1065.com, which, by the way, has a link to the Wrestling Guy.
Yeah, we have our page on there.
Which I like.
It's a little behind the other pages. We should be ahead of NASCAR. Wrestling, NASCAR, come on.
It's a perfect combination.
Yes,
You gotta love
it is,
that.
no doubt. Hey, let's go. Wait a minute. I think we better take this call first. Is this true?
I don't know. What
It's
is
true.
It is true. From line 2 from South Carolina, the Bink.
Oh, geez.
Bink, are you calling us from South Carolina?
Yes, I am.
Running up the phone bill. My goodness.
Bink, I got to tell you this. The $1 billion man was on, and he was taking some shots.
Oh, well, it's poking a little fun, but that's my dude. I mean, hey, what's up, man?
Sounds like you got a little bit of trouble happening in your little group down there.
Was it?
Like I said, it's 3 words. It's all good.
It's all good. How's South Carolina? What's going on down there?
It's all good. I mean, I'm spreading the word as usual, of course. To always listen to the Wrestling Guys, to always go to thewrestlingguys.com.
There you go.
And I'm coming back tomorrow, and I will be at the 24th show, HWA.
Uh-oh.
Some trouble going to be there.
How about your boy there, $1 billion man?
If he can be able to make it, I'll probably will
probably may see him.
All right. Hey, Bink, what's your question tonight?
A couple things I want to mention here. I want to answer a couple questions. I know one of the questions you left on the hotline was, what is Bubba Ray Dudley's real name? And it's Mark LaMonica.
Well, yes, it is.
And Bull Buchanan's character from the Truth Commission was Sniper.
Was that the name of his character?
Yes.
Okay.
Hey, way to go, Bink. I like it, man.
There you go.
All the way from South Carolina.
Well,
Bink
basically,
is
like I
straightened
said,
out.
I had some UFC news, and basically what that is some of the featured characters are going to be Mark Coleman, Ken Shamrock's brother Frank, Tito Ortiz.
Whoa!
Wait a minute.
From South Carolina.
Come on. The guy called all the way from South Carolina.
Now, Jobber.
Yes,
I realize you blow up.
It's out of control.
Bink's in Middletown. You blow up Bink in Middletown, which is about 20, 30 miles of here.
Uh-huh.
South Carolina, that's a pretty good range.
I know. I've never blown up anybody in South Carolina. I thought that'd be pretty cool, huh?
You got to take control of yourself. That wasn't Bink. I know you can't hear us. I'll let your your club, your $1 billion guys, and the rest of the guys
Well,
know.
it doesn't sound like they're fans of his.
Yeah, it doesn't. Wow, there's a lot of confusion.
Maybe Bink is his only fan.
You know what? When
Bink is a fan of himself, and that's really it.
That could be it, because when you start these things, we saw the rise and fall of the Love Man and his Love Foundation.
Exactly.
The Bink starting his foundation, and his man, the $1 billion man that he has all this love for, really calling and taking a shot at him.
It's a sad world.
Yes,
hey, let's mention a couple things, some shows in the area. Number one, this Saturday, National Guard Armory in Middletown, Heartland Wrestling Association. Tickets still available. Shark Boy on the show, AAA, Chip Fairway, Cody Hawk, The Extremist, and Rapid Delivery Rory Fox in a Falls Count Anywhere, no disqualification match.
This one may be in the parking lot before it's all over.
Last time in Middletown, the Extremists fought Ray Steele in a similar match. They went into the bathroom. They went into the concession stands. They went all over the building, and that's all going to be this Saturday in Middletown. Also, coming up on July the 8th, couple shows for you. OCW at the John Bryan Community Center in Yellow Springs. The card not yet announced, but you can keep up to date by calling 229-8189. Then IWA and BCW.
Yeah, combination show happening in Springfield that night. It should be a great show. Iron Sheik coming in for that show, and we don't know all the details on it. We'll try to get a link, though. We were talking about that ring review.
Ringreview.homestead.com. There's no www in it. Ringreview.homestead.com has a lot of news about HWA, IWA, Bull Miller's Group, and a lot of other things in the area. So check that out to get all the news about that show happening July 8th. And again, Iron Sheik coming to town.
Yeah, Iron Sheik, July 8th. And as soon as we get more information on those shows, we'll give it to you. We're sure we're going to hear some. And the big show, everybody's talking about it, July 15th, HWA and the Wrestling Guys put this thing together, and it's the Wrestling Guys Independent Showcase.
Absolutely. We're getting a lot of calls from people wanting to be on the show. What we've done is we've told those organizations, send us your best match. And so we're working with them to try and get that put together and finalized. And as we get closer, we'll be letting you know some of the matches and some of the names. But UCW, HWA, BCW, OCW, all will be represented July 15th. And is WCW still sending us something?
We should know here very soon. Okay. JJ said that they were going to send us some talent in. We haven't heard anything. There's a lot of changes going on in their organization. We still hope to see some people. It's a week before they come to Dayton. But we still hope to see somebody. But this should be one of the biggest independent shows in the Midwest. That night, we're going to have a special ticket deal going on where you get to meet the wrestlers. We have a little party, pizza party, things of that nature for the people that sit in the first 3 or 4 rows. So we're going to do some special things for this show. A brand new facility, Gateway Sports Center. It's on Gateway Drive right off of Route 4 to Stanley Avenue exit. You can call 937-224-PLAY. Tickets will be on sale this week. We held the tickets off because we wanted to get the card compiled, but it is coming out. You're going to see this. Get your tickets quick. This is not the biggest place in the world, and we expect to sell it out.
We hope so. And then happening Friday night, July 21st, WCW, long time since they've been in Dayton. They're going to be at Hara Arena. Tickets still available. You can go to the Hara box office or go to Ticketmaster.com and get your tickets. But again, Friday night, July 21st. And then maybe Saturday, July 22nd, we may have a couple of appearances to talk about.
We're still working on those. And then back in Cincinnati on the 31st, WCW. No word on any WWF shows yet. We're still trying to find out when they're coming back into town. We do know that what we have heard it's going to be some type of a televised taping.
Also, I know that UCW is going to try and hold a show in July, a couple shows, and you can keep up to date with those guys, Raj Cox, Cam Collins, and everybody at 640-1921.
And as soon as we get more information, we've got a huge trip planned in August. We're still working on that. And a big announcement for September that we can announce. The contract has not been signed
announce
and
it.
dotted. No, we can't.
Leak it.
I can't even leak it.
Oh.
Okay, I can tell you this. The fireworks will be flying.
Fireworks will be flying.
Yes.
In September.
In September.
Where's their fireworks in September?
Well, that's all I can say. No more and no less.
457-1065. You're listening to The Wrestling Guys. Let's get back to the phones. I know we've got some people holding on.
Yes, we do. Line 1 from Inglewood. Mike, you've got The Wrestling Guys.
Hey, how's it going tonight?
Good, Michael.
All right, Mike.
Got a couple of questions for you, man. Why are they letting Vampiro talk so much? He doesn't have good mic skills, if you ask me.
Good question. I don't know. I don't think his mic skills are that bad.
It's what he's saying and doing while he's on the mic. I mean, it just isn't carrying any weight, no validity right now. It's not helping the storyline.
No, he has no emotion at all. I mean...
That's kind of him 24 hours a day, too.
No doubt.
Well, yeah, but, I mean, I just...
Vampiro does not like being a heel. Bottom line, I think if he was playing the face role and was able to interact with the fans, you might see some more emotion. But right now, he is not happy with his role in WCW.
And what's Mick Foley doing in this time he has now?
Playing with the kids, and he's also finishing up the paperback version of Have a Nice Day is coming out in September, I think.
Yeah, and it's going to have some extra additional information that was not in, was it 3 chapters?
3 new chapters, yeah.
One thing we do know, we're going to Louisville Friday night. OVW is putting on a big show there. Kurt Angle's going to be there. Kane's going to be there. D'Lo Brown, Al Snow. I know I'm missing a few. I don't think so. You mentioned that earlier.
I thought Hardy's somewhere on the card. Maybe I'm wrong.
But Mick is a special guest referee that night, so we're going to have a chance to talk to him, and we should have some things on our website and maybe an interview to tape to put on here next week.
Cool. I got a prediction for the King of the Ring for you.
Let's hear it.
I think Kane's going to win.
Who?
Kane.
Kane? Kane's not in King of the... Oh, you mean the main event?
Yes.
Okay, so Kane will walk out the world champion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
Well, we'll put that down.
That can happen.
All right, thanks a lot.
Hey, thanks for calling in, man.
You know, Mick Foley, we said he's adding the new chapters to his autobiography. He's also writing some children's books, and those are also going to be due out sometime at the end of this year. But should be interesting. He has a childlike mind sometimes, and be interesting to see if he can put that to use in a kid story.
Mick Foley, a very creative and witty person. Al Snow, they're both cut from the same gender. Those guys think in
the same gender?
Yeah, so
well,
same gender, yes, but you know what I mean.
Same cloth.
Yes.
There you go.
Same cloth of the
cut
loin?
from the same cloth, yeah.
Of the loin?
That's how this expression goes.
Okay, well,
They're cut from the same cloth.
Of the loin.
Well, whatever.
All right.
Anyway.
Hey, going back to the phone lines again, line 3, the Undertaker guy. You've got the Wrestling Guys.
Hey.
Hello?
Go for it.
Taker.
Huh?
Who is this?
This is Cyclone?
Oh, Cyclone.
That's
Y'all
all
are
right.
screwing up on the other
This is
side.
the WCW version of Tornado. I got Tornado with me here, too.
Hey,
what's
got
up,
them all
Cyclone?
together. What's happening, buddy?
I'm just seeing what you guys think about the King of the Ring. What's going to happen.
I think, I said earlier, I think Kurt Angle's going to walk away with the King of the Ring title. I think you'll see Stephanie McMahon involved and helping him get to that point. I would not be surprised to see Triple H remain the WWF champion or at least have the title back in time for the next pay-per-view, so we could see Kurt Angle versus Triple H with Stephanie McMahon maybe as a prize or something like that.
Okay. I got Tornado here. He wants to talk.
All right.
All right, buddy.
Okay. Kurt Angle's down. Hey, guys, what's up?
Hey, how you doing, Tornado?
I haven't been on here in a while, haven't I?
I know, jeez.
Yeah, I tried to call last week, but your little celebrity caller had to kick me off.
We're sorry.
What is up with that?
It was at the end of last week's show, but...
Anyway, what's on your mind, Tornado?
I'm not holding a grudge, though.
No, well, thanks a lot, buddy. What do you got going, man? What's going on?
My son says thanks for the Pillman tickets.
Hey, no
He won them
problem.
off you guys.
No problem.
Yeah, it was a great show, and I know everybody that went enjoyed it, so we all had a good time.
I'm probably going to be going to the HWA show this Saturday, too.
Hey, great. We look forward to seeing you down there.
Should be a good show. We're going to have a lot of fun. Shawn and I will both be there, so come up, make sure we get a picture of you for the website.
To get, front row seats, when do you think you need to come?
To the HWA?
Mm-hmm.
Bell time's 8 o'clock.
It's posted at 7:30. It'll run a little late. 7, quarter 7, 7. You'll be fine.
Yeah, we
probably going to go down there an hour early, so.
You guys will be in great shape, man. We'll look forward to seeing you. Should be a great night of wrestling.
Yeah, we'll look for you guys.
All right, take
right.
care.
All right, see ya.
Bye-bye. It's going to be a good show this Saturday.
Yeah, it is. Putting those two together in a 2 out of 3 match, you've got the ladies involved. There could be a cat fight.
Well, you don't see 2 out of 3 fall matches that often anymore. That's something that's kind of went the way of the 80s and 70s and everything else. So it's going to be very interesting seeing those 4 in a 2 out of 3 falls match. The falls count anywhere is going to be very exciting. Also, the tag team titles. They had a change of hands over the weekend, and Ray Steele defending the HWA championship as well.
And haven't seen a heavyweight champion in HWA for quite some time. D'Lo Brown handing the title over in a heck of a match between Chip Fairway and Ray Steele at the Pillman. Good to see Race, and that should be Ray Steele really coming along as a professional wrestler.
Doing a good job, and all that's happening Saturday in Middletown with the HWA. 457-1065, Jobber, do we have to break? We haven't, do we still have to do a break?
We still got a couple minutes.
Okay, well, let's take another call then.
All right, let's get the line. Is the Undertaker guy still on line 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, he screwed that one up.
Yeah, let's do that. Not call him Cyclone.
Sorry, Undertaker guy.
No problem. You're a great jobber.
Thanks,
Mutual Admiration Society.
It's a big group hug.
But get rid of Bink, whatever his name is, great.
The Blank.
You think Bink needs to stay in South Carolina?
Yeah, he could bring the dead back into the grave.
What's going on, Taker?
Nothing. Okay, I got a couple of questions. Is there any hope to save WCW?
I think the hope is there. I just don't think they're utilizing it properly.
And how many free tickets are they going to be giving out at the show at Hare Arena?
Probably not that many because it's a house show. If it was a TV taping, then you'd probably see, a plethora of free tickets out there. But being a house show and no cameras there, you're not going to see that many free tickets.
Okay, another question. Is The Undertaker still going to retire? And if he does retire in the next year, like you said, will he have to retire before he retires?
I don't know. He's, he had that 6-7 months off recovering from injuries, I think.
I think that added to his career.
Yeah.
Mark had been talking about retiring and making this his last year for quite some time. You take that much time off, you let your body heal, you get a different perspective, you have a different format for yourself on the wrestling. In other words, not the Dark Demon now with the bike. And, it has an opportunity to rejuvenate you. Mark being the type of guy he is, he does enjoy being the role that he's in. And I think you'll see him around for a little while longer.
And you don't see wrestlers really retire where they get away from everything. You don't see it that often. They get addicted to having 20,000 people scream for him. The money right now is better than it ever has been, and that's going to be a factor as far as how long he sticks around also. And if he's able to go out there and perform and his body's okay, I think there's no telling when he's going to retire.
Yeah, okay, a couple more things real quick. Will he go after the Intercontinental belt because he's never held that?
I don't think so. I think Undertaker is a main event guy.
I think he'll always be a heavyweight championship.
Okay, and last thing. It's true. Kurt Angle will win the title. It's true.
Well, do us a favor. Give Joe a call. He's a little lonely over there at Mix. He's missing us
give
tonight.
Give him a call, 457-1077, and yell, it's true.
457 what?
Well, 457-1077. Scream, it's true, and hang up.
Okay, bye.
All right, bye-bye.
Hey, Kurt Angle, I'm going out on a limb. I don't think Kurt Angle wins it.
Put your money where your mouth is. Who is it?
I'm going to go with Chris Benoit.
You know what's interesting is a lot of people are picking Jericho, a lot of people are picking Angle, and that's going to be one of the first matches happening. So
that's what, really, everybody knows a lot of fortitude is needed in that event just because of the time that it takes. Not to say that those two couldn't do it, and either one of them very capable of doing it. I want the Canadian Crippler. I'll say Chris Benoit, but I honestly do not think that Kurt Angle wins it.
What about Kurt Angle's moonsault Monday night? That was impressive.
Nice. Talented guy. He's got the whole package. Mic skills, everything. Hey, let's get to a break. Stay on the line. We've got the Innovator from Salina, Dick from Yellow Springs. The phone lines have been lit up. We want to thank everybody, and we'll be right back. You're listening to
The Wrestling Guys on Buckeye Country 106.5.
It's been one heck of an evening. The lines have been lit up. Talked to Shark Boy from HWA, and a lot of news that we want to recap for you before we get off the lines tonight.
Briefly, Vince Russo did have a meeting today in Atlanta with Eric Bischoff and Brad Siegel. We do not know what came out of that meeting. If Vince Russo still has a future in WCW, once we find out, we'll let you know for sure on the Wrestling Guys hotline.
And check the hotline because we are expecting some calls from WCW later this evening. We could have a late recap tonight, but as soon as we get some information, you'll hear it first at 285-0991.
Chris Candido, maybe in some hot water with WCW. He was sent home from the road, so for showing up with a broken wrist, and nobody really knows why. And so he was, I guess, some R&R for Chris Candido.
Yeah, we really don't know the whole story yet. We do know that Chris is not on their show this evening, and at this point, there's some speculation. We do not want to speculate. We'll wait to hear it first from either Chris or somebody from WCW again.
Good policy. Also, the Bombs match that was going to happen this Sunday, that was canceled. That was going to be out in Philadelphia with Atsushi Onita and Terry Funk. That was canceled due to a lack of promotion. That's the belief of the Japanese company, so they canceled that for this weekend. The Rock, don't know if he's going to be on the Tonight Show or not. WWF.com said it was canceled. Others say no, he's still going to be on, so just wait and see tonight. Big Show is going to be on Conan O'Brien tomorrow. And as always, this Sunday, pay-per-view, going to be at Pulsations, King of the Ring. And Marty and I, it's going to be a good time Sunday.
Yeah, so be at Pulsations, come and see Shark Boy, and put in your vote. We're going to do something special that night and have a giveaway, and we're going to talk about it a little bit, so be there. Have a great time. Pulsations, a heavyweight champion of pay-per-view.
291-9212 if you want to get all the details about Pulsations. And also, briefly, Marty and I will be in Middletown this Saturday for the HWA at the National Guard Armory. Big show. Falls count anywhere. No disqualification match. Rapid delivery against the Extremists. You got the 2 out of 3 falls tag team grudge match.
Park across the street. No holds barred. You don't know where this one's going to end up.
No, they got that diner across the street. Maybe they'll like go over there and start fighting. No, it's changed. It's like K&J or something like that. No, it changed. It used to be Ruthie's.
Yeah, Ruthie's.
Yeah, they changed that. So, and
the rest of the guys.
You okay with it?
Choke out. I took a choke out there.
How you doing, Innovator?
Hey, the Wrestling Guys is finally praised with the presence of the Innovator once again.
Finally.
Yay.
Yes. I've been trying to call it a long time.
Well, we appreciate it. Thanks for hanging in there.
Thanks for calling, buddy.
But there's a small question that my abnormally large IQ can't figure out.
What's that?
What the hell makes you think we're going to know what it is?
No!
Well,
We
you
are
guys
Wrestling Guys.
kind of got some inside sources.
Hurry up because we got to go. What's the question?
Do you guys regularly watch ECW on TNN?
Yes.
Do you see Tony Marinara take that bump on the steel guardrail from the top rope?
Yes.
Is he okay?
He's okay, and Paul Heyman pulled him aside and had a long talk with him about taking those kind of moves, that they're going to get hurt sooner or later. He was not approving of it, and we'll talk about that next week, and maybe we'll mention something on the hotline tonight about it.
We'll do that.
Okay.
Thanks a lot,
Innovator,
man.
thanks for calling. Dickie Chu from Yellow Springs, we're sorry, buddy, but it's 2 hours of nonstop wrestling mayhem, and the heavyweight champions, the tag team champions of Talk Radio, we're done.
Later.
Goodbye, Dayton. This isn't the good old Wrestling Guys. It could be anybody. But we're here. We've got the news. We got a lot of exciting guests, and we've got a lot to talk about in the world of professional wrestling.
Yes, we do.
So bear with us during these technical problems.
I'm telling you, something's going on here. Jeez. Anyway, are we on the air, first of all?
We are on the air.
We are on the air, because there were guys in here flailing their arms going, you're not on, you're on. It's like, we are on the air.
That's good. At least we weren't talking to each other.
Okay, yeah, okay. It wasn't the one of those off-air conversations. Anyway, let's get right into the news, and I'm like kind of like flustered now. I don't know where to begin. Jeez.
Well,
anyway.
Say it. Say who it is. Say who it is. Say who won.
Well, that's not the headline story, Joe, but anyway, we'll talk about King of the Ring later. Let's get right into the big story of the day. In case you have not heard by now, it was covered on almost every major news outlet. The World Wrestling Federation was victorious in its lawsuit against the USA Network starting in September. Raw is War, Livewire, and Superstars will all make the move from USA to the Nashville network. Sunday Night Heat will move to MTV, which is kind of interesting.
That is interesting.
As I said on the hotline, I hope Carson Daly does not become the new host of the show. But, however, there may be a way to get Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera maybe into the ring for a fight or something.
You never know what could happen on MTV.
That could be good. That could be good. But anyway, the judge basically saying that the USA Network was obligated to match the number of radio and billboard promotions as well as the agreement to never preempt the programming, a major bone of contention for Vince McMahon, as he was very upset that USA continued to bump WWF for the U.S. Open Tennis Tournament and for the Dog Show.
Yeah, twice a year.
Twice a year they got bumped. So a 17-year relationship between the World Wrestling Federation and USA will come to an end this September. And the USA Network right now is scrambling because as of right now, they are the #1 highest-rated cable network thanks to the World Wrestling Federation. Obviously, that will come to an end. Everybody in ECW scrambling because their contract with TNN expires in August. They will not be renewed. So now,
and where are we going?
Who are we? We're here.
We're here.
Yes, and ECW does not know where they are going to go, although there has been some talks with the USA Network ongoing over the last couple of months, and those talks have once again reopened over the last 24 hours. So we should be hearing something about ECW possibly jumping to USA here in the next couple of weeks. One interesting note is that on MTV on Tuesday nights right now, the idea is that they are going to replay the previous night's Raw. Raw will be on TNN on Monday nights, and then the next night you'll be able to watch it again on MTV. Paul Heyman said today he thought that was a direct shot to keep ECW from running on USA because they had talked about running on a Tuesday night time slot.
Well, a lot of battling going on right now, and especially because you've seen WWF and ECW work so closely. Hard for me to believe that Paul Heyman would take a shot at the WWF directly, but hey, the wild and wacky world of professional wrestling, anything goes, no holds barred. It's not just in the ring, it's in the office.
Fox is also now looking to try and get into the wrestling wars once again. There's talk about SFX buying World Championship Wrestling and maybe moving them over to the USA Network. USA Network not done with wrestling. They still want to make it a staple of their programming, and so we should hear something here soon about the USA, either maybe even a new group. They've talked about that too, starting up just a brand new promotion from scratch.
A lot of discussion and a lot of people going to be involved, and keep a close eye on it. We expect a bomb to be dropped with the USA Network.
Absolutely. A lot of injuries happening yesterday on both the WCW and the World Wrestling Federation fronts. Shane Douglas was dropped on his neck during a worldwide taping versus the Wall. Apparently the Wall held on to a DDT a little bit too long. Douglas was helped from the ring, had a little bit of trouble walking, refused to be taken to a hospital. At this time, we really don't know how serious the injury is. If we hear anything, we'll keep you up to date on that.
Tried to get a call into Shane, called his home, no answer. His wife, a school teacher, as we well know, not available. And also called the cell phone, no answer once again, which is not normal. Shane Douglas never missing an opportunity for a chat with anybody. So there must be something wrong. We'll keep you opposed, and listen to the Wrestling Guys hotline, 285-0991 for more information.
Goldberg pulled off of the Thunder tapings last night due to some swelling in his arm, the same arm that he injured when busting out the limousine window last year. He had been scheduled to team up with Mike Awesome against Scott Steiner and Kevin Nash. Now you will see a singles match tonight between Scott Steiner and Mike Awesome, and we've got some comments about that in just a few moments. Other injuries happening, though. This one, maybe, I want to laugh at this one. I shouldn't. It's very serious, but Major Guns.
Don't laugh. That is serious.
It is serious. She apparently ruptured one of her breast implants.
Is that an implosion?
Yes, I think that would be an implosion. Okay. She was rehearsing for a three-way dance backstage and took an elbow to the chest, and that's when the damage occurred. She was taken to a hospital, and I guess she was released. But
those things can be pretty serious.
What did Chyna say last week on the Tonight Show? It's her duty to protect her boobie.
Yes.
I think that's what Major Guns had to do.
Well, I'm sure she learned a valuable lesson.
World Wrestling Federation also had their share of injuries last night. Hardcore Holly suffering a broken arm while attempting a moonsault versus Kurt Angle. Joe's slipping there a little bit.
Yes, he is. Took him a while there to catch on.
So apparently,
I was fazed by the Major Gun thing.
I would be fazed by those guns too.
Yeah, yes. But going back to Hardcore Holly, the break was very serious, and apparently he will be out of action for some time. E-True Hollywood Story this Sunday will be Jesse the Body Ventura. That's going to be on Sunday at 9 if you want to check that out.
And if you live in Minnesota, don't watch it. You'll never vote for him again.
We talked earlier about Scott Steiner facing Mike Awesome tonight on the Thunder tapings. According to Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer, Scott Steiner threw a major temper tantrum last night. He was asked to do the job to Mike Awesome in the main event. According to several witnesses, he snapped, went after Terry Taylor, threatened to beat him up. Taylor said, "If you do, I'll sue you." And Scott Steiner then told Taylor he was a word we can't repeat here.
A girl.
Yes.
Called him a girl.
Basically, yeah. And Taylor then complained that he did not have to work under these conditions. Eric Bischoff had already left, so not sure if there's going to be any disciplinary action coming down on Scott Steiner.
Hey, there should be. If these guys don't want to do what they're being paid for, get them the hell out of there.
But you take a look at Scott Steiner. How much time has this guy missed over the last year?
That's right. And WCW stuck by him. He comes back now. The guy is going off on somebody constantly. And it's not like he's the greatest worker in the world anyway. Get off the droids. Get a real job. Work a 9 to 5 and see what life is really like, Scott.
Yeah, I mean, geez. You okay?
Yes, go ahead.
You sound a little perturbed.
Yeah, just got caught up in myself.
Okay. The official word on Vince Russo from WCW is he's on a family vacation, and they're expecting him to come back after a bash at the beach to resume his duties.
That kind of is true.
Kind of.
Vince is out. He is taking a family leave. And if anybody knows what FMLA is, it's a Family Medical Leave Act. Now, you can translate that any way you'd like to, but the bottom line is if you have a medical problem...
he is on vacation.
That's right.
But will he be back? That's the big question.
I think he'll be back. It may be in a different capacity depending on ratings and things, but I just don't see him losing. He is too creative a mind. I think he tried to get a little too involved in the storylines, but I think we'll see Vince Russo back.
Nitro in Cincinnati, July 31st. Tickets go on sale this Saturday if you get down to the First Star Center between
go ahead.
10 and noon.
Tell them who's going to be there.
Lex Luger and Elizabeth.
I don't believe it.
What?
Why? Do you have to get something out of them because they're under contract?
I think so, yeah.
Lex Luger and Elizabeth. Hey, Lex, go get your girlfriend. Go to Cincinnati. Have a nice evening out.
He's not doing anything else. They got to, justify his salary somehow.
Send somebody up that's working.
So Lex Luger and Liz, if you want to meet them, you can do so this Saturday in Cincinnati down at the First Star Center. Saturday, WCW Saturday night, that will be canceled effective this week. They're going to go to a brand new Saturday morning show beginning at 11 a.m. Also, ECWnews.com reporting, and this is kind of sad if it's true, which it is true, but we don't know what's happening. Shut up, Joe. The ECW News reporting, ECW Arena is up for sale.
You know, I read that could be their last show.
And July 8th is the last show. Right now, the only other show booked there for the remainder of the year will be on July 8th. Very strong possibility that July 8th show will be the final time ECW will run in the ECW Arena.
You know, it's a shame nobody's going to be there because VCW and IWA are running in Springfield. OCW is running in Yellow Springs. Who the hell is going to watch ECW with those two groups running? Three groups.
Well, no, you'd have to drive to Philadelphia. It's a live show.
That's my point. That's why they're not going.
You are really, something's up with you tonight.
Thank you very much. You got it going. You did well. That's okay. It was good.
But it's actually Jobber's fault. We got thrown off.
Yeah, everything is out of kilter, but I'm rolling now.
If you don't like anything on the show tonight, it's Jobber's fault.
That's right. Jobber.
No, it's not.
Anyway, a couple of notes to give you on the independent front. A lot of calls this week about Unified Championship Wrestling, what's going on with their hotline. Talked to Big Daddy Rajcox earlier. Unified Championship Wrestling is still in business. For whatever reason, they're taking some time off of the hotline. It will be back up and running.
Summer vacation.
I guess it's a summer vacation. I told him I didn't like the idea, but hey,
don't worry. I mean, all they're doing is giving Cam Collins a break from calling our hotline and taking the information and putting it on theirs.
Well, and the other thing, too, is Cam Collins, who primarily does most of the updates on the UCW hotline, he has continued to fail his GED test. And so this is going to give him that time to really intensify his studies.
Right, cram
concentrate
away.
And have no other distractions so that he can move up to that next rung on the ladder as the head fry cook.
That's right. Camp hard. Take advantage of this time now to do your studies and be a good boy. And one of these days, may be able to come up with a hotline that people call.
By the way, Unified Championship Wrestling is going to do, once again, another free show Saturday, July 22nd at that Northwest Center, 1600 Patterson? No, not Patterson.
God, I don't know. We drove around.
Yeah, it was a little hard to find, but it was a free show, again, happening July 22nd. And unless UCW gets their hotline up, we'll keep you up to date on our hotline.
And if you go to our website, Shawn and I put an article in each week. They're being archived now. And one of the articles, my most recent article, is about the last show and some of the independent organizations in the area. So go to our website, which is thewrestlingguys.com, and read Shawn's incisive article on Shark Boy.
Thank you very much.
And my less than incisive article on the independent groups in the area.
By the way, a little bit later tonight, we have a contest lined up for you to go to WCW July 21st in style.
In style it is. Limousine service, dinner,
Tickets to the show,
Tickets
obviously.
to the show. A great Friday night out for a special pair of Wrestling Guys listeners, and we'll be talking about that later this evening.
Also, later on tonight, we are going to talk to a couple of special guests. Number one, from Extreme Championship Wrestling, New Jack, and a very interesting guy. We always, hear about his crazy dives and everything. He took another one this past weekend, re-injured himself apparently. We'll find out how he's doing. Plus, ECW right now, a lot of things going on behind the scenes that he's involved with, and hopefully he can shed some light on some things there. Also tonight, huge Dayton following for this guy, Cody Hawk, a member of the Heartland Wrestling Association. He's going to be a part of our show July 15th at the Gateway Sports Park. He's going to come on about a half hour or so, and we'll talk to Cody as well.
Member of PWI's Top 500, and also from the Dayton area, just as Shawn said, and really doing a great job for the Heartland Wrestling Association. We look forward to hearing some insightful things from Surfer Cody Hawk and where he thinks he'll be in the upcoming months.
Absolutely, and then we also want to take your phone calls at 457-1065. You want to talk about the WWF jumping ship? Does it really matter to you? Are you not going to watch the WWF now because they're going to be on TNN or MTV? I don't think so. We'll hear your opinions on that, plus a whole lot more. We've got to get to a break. You're listening to
The Wrestling Guys on Buckeye Country WBKI 106.5. And welcome back, and I think it almost went off foolproof this time. We are back. Shawn Stedham, Marty Adams, Jobber in the house. All of his assistants have left, and you've got the Wrestling Guys, and we're brought to you by the accident attorneys Dyer, Garofalo, Mann, and Schultz. Call 1-800-INJURED and put a tiger on your team 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Looking around at the newspapers today and the different CNN and Fox News, and in between Elian leaving and going back to home, everybody was talking about the move that the World Wrestling Federation jumping over to MTV and to TNN. Some people upset by it. You can't blame the World Wrestling Federation. You look at the package that they have been offered that includes a primetime drama series. It includes a huge amount of radio and billboard advertising. It includes various events and promotions at Paramount Parks, which would include Kings Island. In Canada, Viacom owns Famous Players Theaters. They're going to show pay-per-views at the movie theaters in Canada.
You can't debate the package. I mean, we all like loyalty. We all want to be loyal to something, but when it comes right down to it, business is business, and this opens more opportunities. And I think that right now, if you're the World Wrestling Federation, you are by far the #1 wrestling group in the country. It gives you a chance to level the playing field a little higher than even what it is right now. WCW, I think, not only in trouble, but in more trouble due to this happening.
And also, TNN will broadcast XFL games as well, I guess now on Sunday afternoons. So a lot more into it than just wrestling for the World Wrestling Federation. And obviously, we're not really in position to criticize them after, we've been in that position too here.
Sure, you got to do what you have to do to try to make things grow. And, all we can do, obviously, as fans, is wish them the best of luck and hope that the decision they made was the right decision.
And again, apparently right now, Raw will still be on Mondays, Sunday Night Heat will still be on Sundays, and as far as Live Wire and Superstars is concerned, they'll still be on their same normal time slot Saturday and Sunday mornings. I don't expect TNN to ask them to tone down. TNN is in a position where they need the WWF more than the WWF needs them, and so I think they'll pretty much give the WWF free reign as to whatever they want to do. It's going to be nice to have the replay of Raw on Tuesday nights. And plus, the World Wrestling Federation will not be preempted for anything like a dog show or U.S. Open tennis. So
the only thing I'm curious about, we know how they've basically put the censors down on Paul Heyman and his group. Not to say that Paul Heyman, and you can equate ECW to WWF, but in some cases you can. Mm-hmm. What is it going to do in regards to the product that WWF currently portrays on USA Network?
Well, I think, going back to what I said, ECW needed TNN more than TNN needed ECW.
No doubt.
And so, at that point, Paul Heyman didn't have the leverage to be able to say, okay, you have to let us do this, and you have to let us do that. Certainly, some of the things that ECW has gotten away with on TNN is much more, I don't want to use the word extreme, but I will, than anything we've seen on Monday nights on the World Wrestling Federation while on the USA Network. This is a 5-year deal. It's going to be very interesting to see where the World Wrestling Federation and where wrestling in general is in 5 years, and see if Viacom will still make that same commitment that USA made to the World Wrestling Federation over the last 17 years.
You're right. I agree 100%. It's going to be something a novelty to watch initially, just because of the changes. And I think most of them are positive, but once again, I see some other big changes coming. I think you're going to see an additional group come into the big three, and I think that it's going to be potentially devastating to the ECW.
Well, we said this a while back. USA has been watching ECW very closely. They were in the truck at the last pay-per-view ECW had. They have sold Paul Heyman. We are not impressed with your corporate structure. Gee, that's a surprise.
Well, there's Paul, and then there's Paul.
But over the last few weeks, Paul Heyman has had a lot of trips out to California, a lot of trips to New York with his lawyers, talking to, Jay Holloman, who used to work in WCW. He apparently is representing a group that wants to get involved in pro wrestling. Looks like they want to put some money in ECW. So the next month is going to be very interesting to see where ECW goes, what USA Network is going to do, what SFX and the WCW is going to do. I got a feeling that within the next, 3 months away from until September, the whole playing field, the whole landscape of wrestling as far as on television is going to change dramatically.
I agree. What do you think? Get to a few phone calls?
Let's do that. 457-1065 if you want to hop on board tonight. Let's go first to...
All right, let's go to line 2. Yeah, Biggin, you've got the wrestling guys.
Finally, the Biggin has made it on to the wrestling guys.
How you doing, Biggin?
Biggin, you're overdue. You're cooked.
I'm telling you, it's been too long. I called early to make sure that I got on there.
We walked in at like 6:40. The phone's flashing. It's like, what is that?
It was
you. It's great. So what's on your mind?
All right. First of all, how great is that new UCW hotline?
Oh my God, Biggin. Now, Biggin,
is that the greatest thing or not?
I told the UCW hotline has been disconnected. Raj said it's going to come back up soon. They're just taking some time off.
Yeah, they're making some modifications.
Yeah, and
I think it's the best hotline they've ever had.
Oh, jeez.
But it's not Roger's fault.
It's not.
No. Well, see, last Wednesday when Roger and decided he had to hitchhike up north, to work, he left the money with Big Brother. Well, the Big Brother, he went by one of them all-you-can-eat places, and then you know what happened then.
So you're saying both spent it on a buffet instead of the hotline?
That's right, and that's the real story. But enough about them.
What else is on your mind?
How great was the HWA show?
Oh, this past Monday, very, very good show.
The Biggin thought that was the best. Afterwards, you people didn't see it, but in the real men's locker room, Chip Fairway confronted the Biggin, and he told the Biggin, I know you're the Biggin, and I know you are the real Big Daddy. And can you help me with this Shark Boy? And I told him, I said, you got to get your driver out, drive him back to the rough, hook him, and put the chip shot on him.
Now, I was hoping he didn't say, throw me a chair from the crowd, because that could have started a whole big mess again.
Well, we don't want to make Uncle Les mad.
No, we don't.
No.
But I'll tell you, you're right, Biggin. It was a great show, Middletown, and really the crowd, for the size of the crowd, rabid crowd in there, and I think this July 15th show at Gateway Sports Park is going to be fantastic with UCW, VCW, OCW, and HWA combined.
You took a shot at Big Brother. I got to mention to you, Big, on our show July 15th, the UCW match is going to be a title match between Big Jim and Bobo.
Well, we know whose side the Biggin's on. It goes all the way back to the 801 when the Biggin helped Big Jim win that belt from, that guy. So what does Big Brother think he's going to do?
We'll see on the 15th. I assume you'll be there.
With VCW in the house, and that's what we want to mention. Anybody that wants to see a real wrestling show the 8th, drive past the John Bryant Center and go on to Springfield to the VCW IWA. Of course, the IWA, but the VCW with people like the Atomic Rhino and the most homicidal, suicidal tag team in the world today, Suicide Solution, my good friends, of course, will be in the house.
Well, we look forward to that. Hey, Biggin, we got to get to another call. Thanks a lot for the input.
Thanks, guys.
All right,
Biggin,
take care, always.
Biggin, one thing you got to give Biggin credit for, If there's an independent show in the area, it doesn't matter if it's UCW, HWA, VCW, he's going to be in his car or truck, whatever he drives, and I know it's big because he is big, and he gets there. The guy drives a truck all week long, hits independent shows all over the country, so he is pretty knowledgeable of what's going on in the independent scene.
Absolutely.
So give him credit.
Always fun to see him around. He's always a very entertaining guy.
All right. Let's get back to the phone lines again. Then line 1, the man, the myth, and the dog.
Dog? Hello?
No, this is Mr. Greenbuck.
Oh.
Jobber's still doing a great job over there. Anyway.
Job's struggling here.
That one wasn't my fault.
Yeah, it was. Anyway, what's up, Mr. Greenbucks?
Nothing much. What y'all doing?
Hosting a radio show. Trying to anyway, but Jobber's trying to keep us from doing that.
Why is your husband never home anymore?
Because he works.
What, is he changed shifts, or is he out of town, or is he flying to England, or what?
I never know.
Jeez. Oh, that's nothing. So you must be very bored.
Yeah, very.
So what's on your mind tonight?
Well, I just thought that I would tell y'all that the change from going from USA to MTV was probably the best thing they could do.
So you support it. You're not going to stop watching the World Wrestling Federation.
Because it made me mad when they put tennis and that stupid dog show on.
Well, the reason they did that, Vince McMahon controls almost all of the advertising, therefore getting most of the advertising money from the World Wrestling Federation. With the U.S. Open and the dog show, USA Network were able to recoup a lot of that money they were losing from the WWF advertising-wise, because those type of events catered to a more upper-class crowd, a snootier crowd, if you will, and so they go after the more high-end advertisers.
Snootier than the Greenbucks?
Well, I don't know if you can get more. Okay, the advertisers that the Greenbucks would be interested in.
There you go. That's better.
How about that? Anyway, but that's why they did it.
We're high class, but we still watch wrestling.
God bless you for that.
Yes.
Mr. Greenbucks, we got to get to a break.
Okay, thanks.
Hey,
Thank you for the phone
calling.
call.
Tell Mr. Greenbucks we said hi, and I hope you get on board and find something exciting to do.
I will.
All
okay.
right.
457-1065. Get your opinions tonight on the MTV WWF TNN deal. Whole lot more going on tonight. You are listening to the...
And welcome back to the Wrestling Guys. And every time I hear Eddie Guerrero, my last vision of Eddie is after the event, the Pillman event.
Mm-hmm.
And we were at the lounge, and everybody's having a little bit of a
protecting
good time.
him.
And I turned into Eddie's bodyguard for a few minutes, so it was kind of an enjoyable evening.
Eddie was a little...
He was having a good time.
Yes.
You know, that's the best way to put it. But once again, the Wrestling Guys are brought to you by the accident attorneys, Dyer, Garofalo, Mann, and Schultz. We don't want to miss saying that, because I'll tell you what, if you're in trouble, they're the people to call. 1-800-INJURED. All you have to do is just implant that in your mind, subliminally. 1-800-INJURED. Put a tiger on your team. Dyer, Garofalo, Mann, and Schultz.
Again, they have locations everywhere: Middletown, Heber Heights, Lima, downtown Dayton, Piqua, Springfield, you name it. Dyer, Garofalo, Mann, and Schultz is there, and you get a free initial consultation. So if you need, you're in an accident or you need to go sue somebody.
Yeah, if somebody is taking shots at you and you know that they shouldn't, or they're using something that you're saying and they shouldn't be using it, then they're the guys to talk to. Actually, we talk to them, don't we, Sean?
Every day.
And it looks
Gotta love them.
Yeah, and they back us 100%.
And big sports fan too. So
yeah, very much so.
How much have you put in his basement? My God.
I tell you what, a lot. Doug Mann's a great customer, and we do a lot of work for people in the areas, including a lot of the athletes: Cincinnati Reds, Bengals, Browns, University of Kentucky Stars, and we have a lot of fun with it. But now it's time to go back to the phone lines.
457-1065. Let's do that.
Can we try the dog now on line one?
The dog is no longer online.
The dog.
Jobber, are you okay?
I'm fine.
You're like off tonight already.
I don't know what the problem is. I don't know.
Isn't it? Hey, well, I'll tell you what. This will get the Jobber going. Let's go to line 4 then, because he's your buddy, the Middletown Marauder himself, the Binkster. You've got the Wrestling Guys.
Yes, I am back home after my long trip from South Carolina.
You called in last week from South Carolina.
Yes, I did.
You can afford that kind of phone bill?
Yeah, I have a job.
Okay.
Well, basically, I want to say that it's great to see Taz back in the World Wrestling.
Whoa!
Jobber, and a quick trigger finger to boot.
Oops.
Oh, my God.
Do you feel better now?
Oh,
I mean, can you at least promise to be mistake-free from here on out?
I can promise.
I mean, Marty and I make enough mistakes over on this side.
Let us have our fun, will you, please?
I can promise. I just can't guarantee.
Because you're... It's really, get to the phone lines.
Hey,
Line 5.
real quick, this should get Jobber at least motivated a little bit tonight. Miss Hancock opened up a new website.
Yes, she did.
MissHancock.com. Very, very good website. Also, another website that opened up this week, SuperstarBillyGraham.com. So you might want to check that one out as well.
That's interesting. And one thing we have neglected to tell you, and it should be up within about 7 days, the official, and I repeat this for all of you internet people that are out there listening, the wrestling guys are going to be hosting the official Dudley Boys website.
Absolutely.
It's in formation right now. It's going to be damndudleys.com. Talked to Bubba today, we did. A lot going on with this, but the wrestling guys are going to be tied in with the Dudley Boys. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to do a lot of things here with the wrestling show, so stay tuned for damndudleys.com. Now go to line 5, Jobber, from Xenia, Ohio. Daryl
Slick D. McGee.
Yeah, you've got the wrestling guys.
What is up?
What is going on in Xenia?
First of all, this is the first time I've had the chance to listen to the show since you guys have been on the new station.
What's up with that, Daryl?
Well, I work at Odd Lots in Xenia, and I work every Wednesday night. So.
I mean, we've only been here for 2 months. Jeez.
And have you all had a chance to check out my hotline?
I've heard your hotline from time to time. I heard a couple reports. I think Master Ken did. I haven't had a chance to hear you.
Master Ken, well, I don't like him at all, but hey.
Well, why do you have him on your hotline?
I just keep him around just because I feel sorry for him.
Oh, Slick, come on, man. That's not fair to the master.
He has no job, so I had to keep him doing something to keep him off the street.
Oh, that's very charitable of you.
That is. That's admirable.
Basically, I taught him everything he knew.
Now, do you still have your column up there?
Yeah, the paper. I haven't done it like a couple of weeks because I've been busy with school, and school just got out. But
okay.
I will be doing it next week. I just have like a couple of questions, I guess. First, what's going to happen with Raven and I guess Kurt Hennig?
Raven met with the World Wrestling Federation last week. It looks like that the interest from the World Wrestling Federation is strong as long as he continues to stay in good health and also as long as his attitude is good.
So you think it's probably, 100% that he might end up there?
I would say it's in the 80s or 90s as far as percentage-wise that he's going to go to the World Wrestling Federation.
I don't think he'd go back to WCW, would he?
I would never say never, but at this time, no.
You know what? That's exactly what Rena Mero said. Oops, I can't believe I said that.
Yeah, what about her, man?
Okay, you know what? We always say that we won't talk about Rena Mero,
we got
but
to,
this one's too good.
So good.
Rena Mero has contacted the World Wrestling Federation about coming back.
And basically, that was the answer that was given to her. We wanted to quote them, so that was a quote.
Yes.
Also, though, she was questioned about this after we broke it. We broke it on our hotline. Dave Meltzer was there with us. We were right there when we were told this. Consequently, Rena said, well, never say never.
Right.
And also, why do people think Lex Luger sucks? Lex Luger is one of the greatest wrestlers.
If you call our hotline, Wrestling Guys Hotline, at 285-0991, we allow people to leave their thoughts and comments and questions, then we pass some of those along every day. And one of the things that people have been running with over the last week is just bashing the heck out of Lex Luger. I mean, it's been relentless. Now, some people, like the Wild Card and Claudia Webb, have stood up to Lex Luger's defense. But people just don't, a lot of people criticize his work rate. And
the bottom line with Lex Luger, and it's been said, total package, admirable fit. The man is in tremendous physical condition for his age. He has kept himself in that type of condition for his entire career. His mic skills and his ability to get over it, questionable at best. He needs somebody on his side, Elizabeth or whoever the hell they can put there. Consequently, he also works a little stiff, and he's not the most fluid guy in the ring, and that's because of the mass or the bulk on him.
He kind of sounds like Master Ken, because see, Master Ken is by his side.
Well, one of the things that Lex Luger took some heat for is when Vince Russo came back to power and dropped the whole bodybuilding thing. Lex went to Vince Russo and said, I like the bodybuilding, I like the posing in the ring. And he kind of took some heat from that because the idea was that he enjoyed posing more than he did actually wrestling.
Well, I'm going to keep listening to the station, and don't let Master Ken on here, please.
We'll do what we can.
We'll bomb him out of there. We'll let the jobber know there, Darryl.
By the way, he thought he would get on here before me tonight. Well, Ken, I guess you're wrong, man. And you owe me your pay. Well, actually, you can't give me your paycheck. You don't have a job. Well, anyways, we'll work out something.
Maybe he can give you a food stamp.
Yeah, that's probably all he can give me.
All right. Hey, Darryl, we got to get to another call.
Darryl, be cool in Xenia. Darryl, Slick D. McGee.
I haven't been to Xenia for a while.
Yeah, you know.
Go up and see Blue Jacket or something.
There you go. Let's get back to line 7 from Dayton, Ohio. Jake, you've got the wrestling guys.
Yeah, I was wondering if, who's...
Spit it out, Jake.
Come on, Jake.
Who's the best wrestler in OCW that you think?
The best wrestler in OCW? I'll let Marty answer this.
Why are you going to let me?
Because I'm not going to get myself in a hot seat.
Well, see, now I'm gonna. Have you ever been to an OCW show, Jake?
Yeah.
Who do you like?
Who do you like?
My dad.
Who? Oh, here we go.
Wait.
Go ahead, pound the pavement for your dad. Who's your dad, Jake?
Showtime. Jeff Star.
Showtime, Jeff Star. So I guess you're a big fan of his.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who's your other favorite?
Mike West.
Mike West? I have to agree. I don't think that, I'm not going to speak for Shawn. I don't think we have a favorite wrestler. I think Mike West, I think Showtime, there are a lot of talented wrestlers in their federation, Jake.
Yeah.
All right, Jake, thanks a lot for the call.
Yep.
Take
All
care.
right, buddy. Now we got it out of him. Jake.
Jake Star?
Yeah,
Little
Jake Star.
Showtime.
Little show.
You like that? The Little Show.
Jake, when you call in from now on, just call in as Little Show. We've just nicknamed you.
There you go.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Back to line 1.
Who's this?
The Undertaker guy.
Oh, man.
You've got the wrestling guys.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing, Undertaker guy?
Good, since they got rid of Blink again. God, he stinks.
Blink
me.
What's on your mind? Come on.
Okay, and Jobber was a god, by the way. I just want Jobber to know that.
Jobber's a god.
It's true.
It's true. Yeah, I was going to say, Joe, ain't Kurt Angle great?
Well, Joe's not in here right now, but he was very ecstatic that Kurt Angle won King of the Ring this past Sunday.
Because it's true. It's true. Okay, then my question is, will The Undertaker and Kane win the title belts?
Will they win the title belts?
Yep.
I don't know if they will. They won the non-title match this past Monday on Raw. There's a singles match that will happen on SmackDown between Undertaker and Edge. But I don't know if they're going to play that off into a feud where The Undertaker and Kane will win the belts, or if they're just going to, if this is a short-term thing just to give them something to do while Rock and Kurt Angle feud and Triple H and Jericho feud.
Well, the thing is, if they became champion, besides the Acolytes, who really could challenge them?
Dudley's.
Well,
I agree with that. I think Dudley's would give him a run for the money.
I think the Dudleys right now could challenge anybody. If you're looking at it from the storyline and everything, the Dudleys have size, the Dudleys have agility.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Besides the Dudley and the Acolytes, that's about the only really two teams that really being interested.
Size-wise, yeah, but you got to remember, in this day and age, anything can happen. They could get a midget tag team to go in there and find a way to get the belts off of them.
The other thing is, it always gives you the opportunity for one to turn on the other one, move the heat back and forth. So there's a lot of opportunity. Personally, I'd like to see it happen.
As far as Kane and Undertaker feud with each other again?
No, I'd like to see him win the straps.
Hey, Taker, you're a big Undertaker fan. I'll ask you this. Do you like his biker gimmick or not?
In a way, I do, but everybody's got to change. But in the way, I like when he first came out.
See, I'm hearing a lot of people that would rather see him go back to his dark side kind of ways and the biker gimmick.
I bet it's 80%
But I'll be
to
honest
20.
with you, he acts like Stone Cold to me kind of right now.
That's what I was going to say. A lot of his mannerisms, chewing the tobacco. We saw Kane refuse it this past Monday, which was a pretty good segment. But he is getting a little bit too Stone Coldish.
I mean, for me, the best Undertaker one was...
You like that term, Stone Coldish?
Yeah, I did like
that. They copyright that.
Stone Coldish.
Anyway, hey, Taker, we got to get to a break,
but
okay?
like I said, it's true.
It's true. Thanks a lot, Taker. Hey, real quick here, latest on Stone Cold Steve Austin. Apparently, the rehab is going very well. It's not clear yet whether or not he is going to be at Fully Loaded.
That's old news.
What are you talking about? You're over there talking about Conan.
That's old news.
No. Okay, then, when's he coming back?
Oh, I got to laugh. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I didn't want to interrupt. I apologize. I needed to laugh.
Okay, wait a minute. Let's fill people in on what we did. Marty comes walking in here tonight. He's got all this news that he's found, and he goes, man, Conan's tricep, that was a 90% tear. And I said, well, that's old news. I had it on the hotline 2 weeks ago.
No, that's not what happened, but it's close.
Well, what was the other story?
We brought in some news, and so that we would have some extra things to talk about. And we're going through it, and a lot of it is rehashed things or additions to news that's been previously released. Everything I said, Sean's like, old news. That's old news. Did you hear this? Old news. So anyway, it was just a shot across
Marty,
the bow.
if you would call the wrestling guys
Is that
hotline,
where I should be calling?
That's where you should call it
I was
every
calling
day.
that other guy's hotline that puts me on it.
You're the only one that calls it. Anyway, 457-1065. We got to get to a break. When we come back, we're going to talk to surfer Cody Hawk from the HWA, and then hopefully you at Buckeye Country 1065.
To you once again by Dyer, Garofalo, Mann, and Schultz, the accident attorneys. You can put a Tiger on your team 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call 1-800-INJURED. They give you a free initial consultation, and they have offices everywhere. So give them a call if you need some help.
Piqua, Heber Heights, downtown Dayton. I missed that one. Middletown,
That's
Springfield.
So many
it's
floors
everywhere.
You could get lost in it. It's
We're
amazing.
downtown. It's huge.
It is huge.
Dyer, Garofalo, Mann, and Schultz. Free initial consultation, too. So if you're not sure,
yeah, if you just want to talk to somebody.
you can go talk to them, and they'll tell you if you got a case.
Yeah, if you're lonely. If you need to talk to somebody.
It's not that kind.
Oh.
It's not that kind of
Did I say
consultation.
1-800 or 1-900?
It's 1-800, yes.
A 1-800-INJURED. Call Dyer, Garofalo, Mann, and Schultz.
Let's go to the celebrity hotline. Joining us from the Heartland Wrestling Association, huge following here in the Dayton area, none other than one of PWI's top 500 wrestlers in the entire world, surfer Cody Hawk. Welcome back to the Wrestling Guys.
Hey, what's happening, fellas?
Not a lot.
Surf, I got to tell you, there were a lot of people a little upset in Middletown last week because, one, you didn't get to put that surfer move on coming towards the ring because you got jumped.
Yeah, man. That was a terrible shame. I know how much the people love that.
Now, I got to ask you something. You're from Dayton, right?
Yeah.
Where do you get the surfer gimmick from? Because there's not a lot of beaches or waves in Dayton.
Well, that's something that kind of goes back to when I was in high school. Everybody said I looked like a beach bum and that I needed to be hanging out on a beach somewhere in California.
Gotcha.
The surfer, where did you go to high school? We know you're from the Dayton area here.
I went to Bellbrook High School.
Bellbrook, home of the Golden Eagles.
Yep.
A class of?
92.
He didn't want to even tell that.
Now, did you do anything in school as far as wrestling or football? Or
I played football in high school and I was part of the track team.
Okay. What position did you play?
I was a defensive or an offensive tackle.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, did Bellbrook have a good team that year? They've had some good teams recently.
We went undefeated that year and went into the playoffs and lost to Cape in the second round.
Jeez.
Wow, that's something to be proud of, and it's obvious when you come to the Dayton area. Usually, one of the main people that people want to come and see, Surfer Cody Hawk.
Yeah.
And our big show coming up here July 15th, we're going to talk a little more about it later in the show, but you're going to definitely be in one of the main events. Every match a main event that evening at Gateway Sports Park, July 15th.
I'm really looking forward to it. Can't wait.
You're being, recognized around the country as one of the top young tag team wrestlers there is. Do you like tag team wrestling? Would you like to break out and be more of a singles guy eventually, or?
It doesn't really matter to me. I like the singles wrestling, but I also have a whole lot of fun wrestling tag team. Taxi's a great partner, and we do some really unique things, I think, I don't see a lot of other people do, and I really enjoy the tag teaming.
Now, tell some of the guys you've tag teamed with, because you've tagged with a couple big names.
Yeah, I've tagged with a few here and there. Back when I first broke in, I got to tag with Ricky Morton, one half of the Rock and Roll Express. That was a pretty tremendous thing for me, only being my third or fourth match.
Did he teach you a lot?
Yeah, he taught me a whole lot. It was quite amazing. Just stood there on the side of the ring, and it was just kind of like being at school.
Now, tell us, and this is a question I want to start asking people. In the locker room is notorious for jokes and practical, we call them ribs. Mm-hmm. What's the best one that's been played on you?
Best one that's been played on me. Actually,
or that you played on somebody else?
Best one that I've played on somebody. That's a pretty good question. I got a couple good ones that are in the works right now, but
so you don't want to give us
until it's all done and over with.
You'll let us know, right?
Yeah.
Now, you wouldn't do something like that to Marty or I, right?
Hey, no. I keep it clean with you guys.
Do we trust this guy?
I doubt it.
I don't think so. Anyway, how long have you been wrestling now? 2 years?
Yeah, I've been in the business 4 years, but I've just been in front of people for 2 years.
It's pretty cool that in just 2 years you're already PWI's top 500. And what ranking were you?
I was 452 last year.
Okay.
And I know definitely your name has been tossed around this year. There's been a lot of talk about the upcoming PWI 500.
Yeah.
Sure to see your name move up after, you've had a great year during the last year. A lot of exposure, and I know that you're looking for bigger and better things from Cody Hawk, I would think, over the following months coming.
You know it, Marty. Got to work for WWF a couple of times last year. I hope to get to do that, or for WCW, whoever, even more this year. Got to do some
invitational shows last year, and I hope to do a lot more of those this year. I'm hoping that this year is going to be even bigger there than last year for Cody Hawk.
Hey, Cody, when you when you work for the WWF or WCW, you do one of those dark matches or what have you. What's it like backstage? Do some of the guys come up and give you pointers, or what's the mood back there for you?
When you first get there, it's kind of like you're a fly on the wall. You just sit back and kind of keep your mouth shut and just, watch what's going on around you, and then eventually you start to introduce yourself to people and make your way around, and, some people have the time to talk to you and some people don't, and you just kind of do your own thing and, pick up your paycheck at the end of the night and on your way you go.
Cody, is that your vibrator I hear in the background?
No, actually, it's some guy down the street cutting some shrubbery.
Is that what it is? Okay, we just heard something buzzing around.
Yeah, I had to step outside the training center here. They're bumping around inside, and it's pretty loud.
Gotcha.
Well, I know you got to be excited, too. HWA moving to new headquarters, a new 6,000-square-foot training facility, 2 rings being set up at all times, and hopefully a lot more opportunities for the guys that are going through school there and looking to make the next step.
Yeah, I'm real fired up about this new training center. I know we're starting to get such a huge influx of guys down here. It's just, we're about to bust at the door,
How many's in class tonight?
There's about 22 out there tonight.
Jeez. And, of course, you're going to be on our show July 15th up here at the Gateway Sports Park.
Oh, you know it.
And you're going to sell a lot of tickets to your family, right?
I'll sure try.
That's what we like to hear.
That's what it is.
There's been some of those shows where if you took my family and friends out, there wasn't a lot left.
Hey, I've been to a couple of those.
I think we've been to 1 or 2 of those, yes. Hey, Cody, thanks a lot for joining us tonight. Best of luck to you throughout the year, and we'll see you on July 15th.
Thanks a lot, fellas.
All right. Thanks, Cody.
All right, Cody Hawk from the Heartland Wrestling Association. And going back after the HWA Tag Team titles, he lost those a couple weeks back, but he teams up with Taxi Driver, and who's the champion? It's Bobby Casanova and Bobby Fury, right?
Yeah, that was a change here, just recently. And, Brian Fury moving from the Detroit area down to Cincinnati now to really put a more concerted effort into building his career. A lot of talent there. His brother actually wrestles also for the HWA, staying in Detroit, still coming down, and he works Alexis Machine, working a lot of the different shows. So a lot of talent out of the Detroit area working on HWA cards.
We've got time for a couple calls real quick, 457-1065.
All right, and I'm not sure who's on line 2, if it's Justin from Miamisburg or the Blindsider, but let's try it here on line 2. Who do we have?
It's Justin from Miamisburg.
Hi, Justin the Bulldog here.
Hey, Bulldog.
Hey, guys, I was wanting to know some of my favorite wrestlers of all time were the...
Turn the radio down, Justin.
All right. That better?
Yeah, a little feedback there. Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Like I said, some of my favorite wrestlers of all time have been the Bulldog, Sid Vicious, Raven, and Rob Van Dam. And I also want to know, do you think Rob Van Dam would ever make his way to the WWF? I remember watching him on there through the whole ECW WWF merger when they made a couple appearances.
Right.
But do you think he'll ever sign there with as big as WWF is now?
We